And with that being said, folks, the individual I want to bring on is someone who's earned my immediate admiration and respect, and that's none other than St. Petersburg's very own Mr. Kenny Williams. Kenny, are you out there?
I am here. I'm here. How you doing, guys?
Oh, fantastic. You're coming through loud and clear, Kenny. The floor is all yours.
Hey, thank you. Thank you for hosting today also. I'm actually mesmerized by these numbers here. This is unbelievable. But anyway, guys, my name is Kenny Williams. My wife is Frances. She'll be hosting the back office today. And just let you guys know a little bit about my history. I've been involved with network marketing a little over 30 years, off and on. I'm a traditional diamond broker, gemologist by trade, gun store owner. And so I've always piddled with network marketing on the side. I've made a few bucks, but I've never really made the big money, the $1 million a month, $1 million a year, but I've made good money anyway. And we live here in St. Pete, where we're looking the Gulf of Mexico on the 5th floor. And we opened a jewelry store here about 4 years ago and decided, you know what, I didn't want to work with the public anymore. And we sold the store and we went full time with network marketing. And now we've got more than 5 different companies going on. Some of them left me, some of them I left them, but I've still got income coming in from them from what we built. But I've never built anything like what's going on over here at 50/50. I mean, we've sponsored 44 people as of today. Got one, Dean Harbin. Thank you for joining today, Dean. We've got, anyway, hundreds, tons of great leaders in our organization that are really doing well. And, you know, we can't talk about incomes in here. You know, I know we can talk about donations. We've received over, I want to say, 270 donations within 3 weeks here. So pretty excited about that. We joined at the $250, the $500, and $1,000 level. And I tell everybody, hey, just get in where you fit in. $250 is fine. You can cycle 6 times on the $250 level, which will bring you to the next platform. But within 2 hours, my wife came out to the balcony and said, hey, we've got enough money right now to fund the $2,000 platform, and we did that. This is on a Sunday, guys. Now, Bill Davies gave me a call quite a few times beforehand, but I just didn't want to look at it because we're already at the top of another company. We just joined not even 3 weeks before that. So anyway, 4 hours later, she stuck her head back out here and says, hey, we can go to the next platform. I said, let's do it. And for a solid week there, I almost lost, I lost my voice for 2 days in a row, but guys, I mean, we are having the time of our life with David Rosen. I thank him every day for putting him on earth. And I'll swing it back to you. And by the way, we're at 400 people right now, and we're going to 500.
Well, Kenny, thank you so much for that. And folks, one of the things you want to understand who you just heard from is the #1 recipient of donations, and he's part of a dynamic duo, and it's my honor to bring on the other half of that duo, and that's Frances Williams, folks, who's, you know, just really been an inspiration. If you haven't had a chance to meet her, you know, on some of the calls, folks, you want to make sure you're taking notes, because the person you're about to hear from is the other half of the #1 recipient team for donations here with 50/50 crowdfunding. And Frances, are you out there?
I'm here, Michael. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. If you could just lean a little bit in, a little bit more. You're just a little faint, but I can hear you.
Let me turn my volume up as loud as it will go. I apologize. My voice is not back to 100% yet, but I'm doing much better. Been sick for a few days, but I'm so happy to be here. Thanks so much. I just can't believe the turnout today, you guys. Just 3 weeks ago, we didn't know who 50/50 crowdfunding was, my husband and I. I know it's been in existence over a month, but tomorrow is our 3-week anniversary, and we celebrate these anniversaries. We celebrate our daily anniversaries now because of just how exciting this opportunity is for us and for everyone that we've been able to get involved with this business. It's just mind-blowing what's taken place in a short month. David Rosen created it a while back, but launched it on October 3rd. So I can't even put into words the magnitude of this program, and in such a short period of time, what it's helped us accomplish personally. We have personally enrolled over 40 people. I think the number is 42 or 43 today. And in just such a short period of time, we have been able to generate some just astounding numbers of donations from around the world. We've gotten donations in from other countries, people, I have no idea who they are or where they live. And it's just so exciting. And it just goes to show anybody can do this program. You don't have to have a huge network marketing background. This isn't traditional network marketing or multi-level marketing by any means. It's crowdfunding. So it's not only is it perfectly legal in every state, every country in the world, it's helping one another. So you can help fund people's charity projects. You can help people, you know, get out of debt, get out of student debt, any number of things that you have on your plate that you need to raise money for. This is the perfect vehicle to do that. So what I would like to do is, and we're going to hear from some others who've been having some really good success as well, but I would like to go over some training, because as leaders, we hear from the field and everybody ends up with our phone number, which is great. I don't have a problem talking to anybody, but I'm on the phone all day long helping people with everything from signing up to now getting tokens to sending donations. So I just put together a list of some bullet points and some topics that I want to discuss. And please, if you don't have one, get a pen and a paper handy to take notes, or better yet, get your phone out and take a screenshot of the screen, my notes, to refer back to if you need to. But I just like to go over some basic points that might help you in your daily business, signing people up and running your own business as far as sending and receiving donations. Another good thing might be to, if you have another screen or if you have a phone, you can log into your back office. So maybe you can follow along as I give you these pointers, because you'll see what I'm talking about when you're logged into your back office, the different features that are back there. And forgive me, I'm gonna put my glasses on now. But so first of all, what I'd like to talk about is signing up. When you are signing up, well, obviously, hopefully you're all already members, so you've already done your sign up process. But what happens when you send your link out to someone, it's those 4 or 5 digits followed by 5050cf.com. And that can be found in your back office under number 4, under daily steps on the home page. So I always refer to the home page because there's a list of daily steps that are out there. And that's pretty much how you run your entire back office. So under number 4, you'll see your link. So you can copy and paste into an email or a text that number and send to the person who was enrolling. First of all, make sure that they see your name at the top of the screen. That's just to ensure that they're signing up under the right person. We've had that happen many times where people call and say, we signed someone up, but they used the wrong link. Can we change that? What happens is this puts a whole motion in process when you sign up. You immediately get your first 2 names that you send donations to. So it really involves other people when we get signed up incorrectly, because now they're expecting donations from someone who was signed up incorrectly. So first and foremost, let's make sure we sign up with the correct link, okay? So as you all know, we've had a few issues in the last few days with our credit card processor, and it's not a big problem. Okay, I'm being told that you can't hear me.
I can hear you, Francis.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, you're coming in.
Okay, great, because Kenny just popped in and said some people can't hear me. Okay, so with the credit card processor issue that we're having, it will be back online soon, we're being told, so don't worry about that. But right now what we're doing is we're using tokens. And what these tokens are, it's just some numbers that actually work as cash, basically. It's a string of numbers and letters that we just put in the field that says tokens, and that acts as your $29 payment. So these tokens right now can be purchased through David Rosen through his PayPal. And if you look here on the screen, boxoftools@gmail.com. It's boxoftools@gmail.com. That's the email, or the email that you would send the PayPal payment to. Now, David only sells them in lots of 5. So 5 at $29 equals $145. So you can PayPal him that. Just so you know, if you're in the United States, when you go to make that payment, it will do the conversion to Canadian dollars, and it'll be, I think, 183, 184, but you're still sending 145. He'll receive the 183, 184. So in the notes section, I would just put a note, please send me 5 tokens. But also, and this is very important, take a screenshot of that transaction in PayPal And if you can, text it to our good friend Joe up in Canada. He's helping with these tokens. Here's his number here, Joe at 403-470-5444. That's his cell number. And just send him that screenshot as proof that you've made your payment, and just say, please send me 5 tokens. He gets them out very quickly. I don't know how he's doing it. He must not be sleeping the last few days, but he responds to me pretty quickly. So these tokens will get you signed up. They'll get your people signed up. If you have a big team, or if you're signing people up at a rapid pace, buy extras. Just keep them on hand. As your people need them, sell them to them for $29. Have them PayPal you the $29, and that's working great for us. So I'll move on past that. Okay, so guys, this is so important, okay? People get excited and they want to join, but we have to make sure before they pull that trigger and actually hit join, their payment methods are set up and ready to go. And so what that means is, if they're joining for the 250 level, okay, then that means they're immediately going to be responsible for sending out 2 donations to 2 different individuals. One should be their sponsor, and the other will be either a randomly picked person, whoever falls above them in the matrix that they fall into. So what happens, they're responsible for sending that out right away. Their back office will tell them who those 2 people are. So at that point, they would just go to whatever methods that are chosen for those 2 individuals that they've picked to receive their payments by. Those 2 people are expecting that money. They just received an email from 50/50 saying, great news, John, you're receiving a donation, and it'll give the amount. That does not mean that they have received it yet. That means they will be receiving it from you, the new person. Okay, so at this point is when you go in and you click on, click here to see who I have donations to send to. It'll give you the donation ID number, and it will give you the name of the person and their contact information, and it'll tell you how they want to be paid. So please, please make sure that your funds are available for whatever levels you want to come in at. Make sure you're ready to send those out. So making donations. And again, there's no grace period here. It even says right in the back office that you're joining at your own free will, that you know that your payments are due, your donations are due immediately. If you find that you are owed donations that aren't being received in a timely manner, we'll cover that later. But as for now, let's talk about sending out donations. So when you go to your home screen and you click on number 1, so it'll tell you exactly who the people are. When you go down to the middle of the screen, okay, it will show their payment methods. There will also be a section that shows their recipient information. Now, keep in mind that when you register, you enter an email address. This email address could very well be different than the email address that your PayPal donations go to, okay? And this has been a little bit of an issue also. When you're making these donations, please only look in the section that says payment account under payment methods. Don't look at the information that they have up by their name and their phone number. It could be different. It very well may be the same, but it could be different, and it could cause an issue with the PayPal payments making it to the proper place, okay? So let's see here, what else? So moving on. So using PayPal, let's just stick with PayPal for a minute. That seems to be about 75, 80 or more percentage of people are using PayPal to send and receive their donations. One thing I've noticed, there are 2 options in PayPal. There may be others, but there are 2 that pop up right away when you're making a payment. One of them is to send to friends and family. And this is a free option, and it's for people in the United States. I think there's an option for those that are abroad, but I know for a fact in the United States, it's free for friends and family. If by chance you don't select that and you're sending it as a payment for goods and services, then the person receiving that donation is going to be charged a fee. And it can get quite significant as we're making these higher donations. I looked back over the last 2 weeks, and I've paid over $250 in fees because people sent the payments to me as payment for goods and services. We don't want to do that, you guys. We want to send it to friends and family whenever you see that option. Sometimes it appears right away on the computer. Sometimes it doesn't show up until, if you're on your phone, let's say, right before you click the button to send the donation, it may have an option down there. If you see an address, like who the sender is, then chances are you're sending it as a payment for goods and services. So let's just try to keep real aware of that, so we can avoid any fees that we don't have to pay, or that we're not charged when we get our payments. Okay, so your preferred payment methods, excuse me, I'm gonna take a drink real quick. Sorry. Okay, very important. Once you've sent out your first 2 payments, I believe one of them has to be marked received before you have access to this section where you can set up your preferred payment methods. So it would be under number 3 on your home page under daily steps. It says to ensure that your preferred payment methods are in place. And there's many options, guys, as far as how you can receive your payments. On the screen here, you can see that here's a few of them: PayPal, Bitcoin, Zelle is the bank transfer. And I know most major banks in the US anyway take it. I have Wells Fargo and it's called Zelle. I know with some other banks it might be called Quick Pay or Sure Pay. And that is a great option, although with new recipients, sometimes there's a limit. I know with Wells Fargo, there's a $500 limit on sending to a new person. So if I need to send a $1,000 donation, I might not be able to do it with Zelle for the first time that I'm sending to that person. Google Pay, Google Pay and Apple Pay are good options. Venmo is an app that I use on the phone, and Cash App is another one as well. And those work great. Abra is actually one that works with Bitcoin as well as US dollars. It also handles other cryptocurrencies. So, and I know probably, I don't know the percentage, but a good percentage of people are using Bitcoin now. And you guys, if you don't have a Bitcoin wallet, it's not a bad idea to just go set one up. We use blockchain. So if you go to blockchain.com and create a wallet, you can create it in 10 seconds. It's a great way to receive Bitcoin in. You don't have to go purchase Bitcoin. You can just set it up as one of your payment methods to receive. That way you can start collecting Bitcoin. We all feel like Bitcoin is headed up. We know it's been up in the past and down, but we just feel like it's on its way up. Don't take our word for that, but we love collecting Bitcoin. So these are some of the options, and if you have others, feel free to use them. If you're in the same town as someone that you're signing up, take cash from them, take a check, whatever works. I just told someone this morning, one of their people doesn't have a PayPal account. I told them it's definitely a good idea to get one set up, but in the meantime, don't let that stop them from signing up. We will make it work. So even I've had to send payments out for people and then take cash from them just to get them going. So that's the payment method. And one suggestion I have in the notes section next to payment method, PayPal, payment account, your email address, right below that, there's a section that says notes. And I put in here, right here in red, I put, please select free, pay free to friends and family, not pay for goods and services. It's just one more reminder to them when they're going to make that PayPal payment that they select that choice instead of paying for goods and services. I also recommend, and I think I have it written down here somewhere, when you're sending a payment out through whatever means, please put the donation ID number in the notes section. And this is just good record keeping. So if in the future someone says, I didn't receive that payment from you for $500 back on November 4th, you can go back and look and say, well, I did send it, and I put a note in the notes telling me exactly which donation ID that was for. So it's just a good resource to have to refer back to if you need to. Okay, guys, receiving donations. When someone joins your business, you get an email that says that you have a new enrollee. You also get 2 other emails, or at least one other email, telling you that you have a donation coming. Because as we know, as the sponsor, we always receive 50%. So we receive half of their initial donations. Now, the only caveat here is you have to be qualified. And by qualified means if you've already gone past one cycle of 6 donations received and you haven't sponsored your 2, you may not be qualified, but we'll cover that a little bit later. So So you get an email whenever someone cycles below you that you signed up, or whenever someone is sending you an email. So it doesn't mean that they've already paid you. It just means that they will be paying you, and it hopefully will be in a short time frame. So at this point, I would be keeping an eye out in my PayPal, in my Bitcoin account, in all my apps that collect money. Just keep an eye that you get that donation in, and as soon as you receive notification that you have that payment, it's your responsibility to go to your back office and go to number 2, sorry, and click on mark donations received, okay? Because if it doesn't get marked received, it doesn't look like the person has sent it. So please make sure you mark them received, but only after you have received it. We have had some issues where people say, I went ahead and marked it received. I hadn't received it yet. They said they were sending it, but we just want to keep everybody, I don't want to say honest, because I believe everybody here is honest, but don't mark it received until actually paid. So, and if you need to send a polite reminder to someone, it's not a bad thing. We have their contact information for a reason. We've got email addresses and phone numbers. So let's say your payment was due yesterday and you haven't received it yet. We know that they're supposed to understand that these payments are due immediately. So feel free to reach out via text or email and just politely say, I see you're part of the 50/50 program. I see a donation was due to me from yesterday under this ID number. Just wanted to send a reminder. If you need any help making that payment, let me know. Some people are new and maybe they don't understand. A lot of times they haven't been given the instructions properly by their sponsor. So we want to help everybody that we can to know how the system works and how to make the payments. So if you're still waiting on payments from someone and it's been more than a few days, then that's not okay. We want to make sure everybody's following the policies and procedures. And if for some reason someone has declined to make the payment to you, they've told you they're not going to make the payment, then corporate needs to know about that. Send an email to support, or reach up to your upline, because we want to make sure those people get taken out of the system if they're not following the rules. And we don't want anyone to miss out on payments that they're owed. So we can suspend accounts, not me personally, David can suspend accounts or completely cancel accounts by those people who aren't following the rules, okay? So donation centers, take a look here real quick. I'm gonna grab another sip of water. My voice is starting to go. Okay, this little diagram here, which is on our back off, it's actually on our 5050cf.com page, and along with the video. But this shows what it would look like when you fill in your matrix. And also in the back office, I didn't cover this, but there's a tab that says Wealth Center. Okay, when you click on that, it's going to show you open receiving centers and closed receiving centers. What this means is when you join, and let's say you join for $250, you're going to have an open receiving center that has 6 open spots that can receive 6 donations of $125. So if you see here, basically you're at the top, and then it will show you 6 open spots. As you receive donations in, it will put a name and a contact information of the person who donated to you. And the system fills up left to right, top to bottom. So for instance, if you personally sponsor Joe, and then you personally sponsor Sally, they're going to fill in these 2 spots. But let's say Joe sponsors someone. Before you get in your next 4, let's say Joe sponsors someone, it's going to go under Joe to his left. Then if Sally sponsors someone, it's going to fill in under Sally to her left. So then you've got 4 donations on this, but this one's still empty and this one's still empty. Okay. But if you are the one who sponsored 6 people right off the bat, it would fill up top to bottom and left to right, okay? And the goal here is to get all of our 6 donation centers filled up. But it's very important that we remember that we need to share this with at least 2 people and to help those 2 get 2. If we did that, it would be a perfect world. Our first 6 donation centers would be full. and then we would cycle and we'd open a new one. And the company has been gracious enough to let us actually have one free ride through the system, as we like to call it, where you can actually receive donations without having sponsored anyone. It's possible to receive all 6 donations without having sponsored anyone. The problem with this is if you haven't sponsored anyone and you fill up all 6 spots, your matrix closes. You now have $750 in donations that have come to you, but now you don't have an open matrix here because you did not sponsor 2 people. And the only way to open your new matrix at this level is to sponsor your first 2. But what happens is the donations from those 2 people will roll up past you because you're not currently active in that matrix. Does this make sense, guys? So you have to have 2 before your matrix closes. So ideally, before you get donations 5 and 6, you want to make sure you have your 2 people in place. So once those 2 come in, then you would cycle and start a new matrix. And the way it works is every time one closes, a new one opens. You're the first person to donate. So it's like you just joined again. You send out your $250 in donations, and now you have 6 open spots to receive donations in. And I've had some people a little confused with that. They think once they put their $250 or their $750 or $15, whatever level they're at, that's all they ever have to put out. It doesn't work that way. The system would never be able to keep running if it were like that. Whoops, sorry guys. So every time you cycle, you're the first person to send the 2 out, and then you have 6 open spots. Okay, hopefully that is clear to everybody. Okay, so here's a real important tip, guys. When you receive your first 4 donations, so let's say you joined for $250, now you get 2 donations here, 2 donations here for $250. That's $500 worth of donations that you've received in, okay? Your $250 in the plus side, and you have $500 that you've just received. The best thing to do with that $500, if you don't absolutely have to withdraw it and spend it, is to upgrade to the next level. The next level is $500. Each matrix is separate and they run independently of each other. Okay, there's a $250, a $500, $1,000, $2,000, and a $4,000 matrix. So there's 5 independently running matrices, and your goal would be to get all the way up to the $4,000 matrix and have all 5 of them sending you donations every day and cycling every day. It's just a beautiful thing when that's happened, and that's happening to us, and it's how we're becoming so successful. But when we started, we bought in for 3 matrices. We bought in the $250, the $500, and the $1,000. It cost us $1,750. But what happened is by the end of the day, we received enough in donations to upgrade to the $2,000 and the $4,000 levels the same day. Now, granted, we really went to work and we talked to a lot of people. And this is a program that if you go to work, guys, it will work for you. If you're just going to sit back and watch and just hope that you get some donations from spillover, not to say it won't happen, but it may not happen. We've had people fill up all 6 donations with spillover, and that's great, but it's not great, because then it teaches you that you don't have to do anything to get paid. And we don't want people to have that mindset. We want everyone to know if you get 2 and you help 2 get their first 2, it will just run like clockwork. So the best thing I can suggest is once you get your first 4 donations at any level, use those 4 donations to upgrade to the next level, okay? So that's the end of my formal training here. I will be happy to answer any questions that any of the other guys may have. I don't know if we're taking questions from our chat. I know we've got a ton of people on. So
yeah, Francis, I've been trying to answer as many of the chat questions as I could. I can't see
the chat right now, Bill, so I appreciate that. We're almost at 500, you guys. It's amazing. I just can't believe how this has taken off. I'll put this on the screen here. Please take a snapshot for our Super Saturday training. It's actually not a training. It's actually overview presentations every 2 hours. And we're dedicated as the leaders here, Michael and Bob and Bill and John and Kenny and myself, to help you get the word out. to help get your people the knowledge that they need to make an informed decision about this program. So on November 17th, starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, we're doing this every single 2 hours. So let's say you jump on the first call and you get your 2 people and they watch it and they get excited. We're going to give you 2 hours to get them enrolled and for them to get 2 people on the next call. And then same thing for the next call. So by 10 p.m. you could have your entire matrices, filled up and you could be cycling already. So it's going to be very exciting. We want to invite all of you to please take advantage of that day. And guys, I'm going to turn it back over to you unless there's any other questions for me.
Well,
Hey,
Francis, sorry,
yeah,
Bill.
go ahead, Mike. Francis, you did an awesome job. It's unbelievable what you guys have done in a short period of time. Thank you for your leadership, Kenny. Thank you as well. I came on, guys, October 14th, I think, is when I sent my first donations. I'm not even going to really tell you my story. I have John Van Derzen on here who has helped me tremendously. I got introduced to John through my good friend Delon Henniger, but I'm want John to come on this call. So if you can go ahead and unmute yourself, John, or if Michael, if you can unmute, because John has been in this probably longer than any of us, maybe for a full 31 or 32 days. He tells it better than anybody can tell this story. And then after John gets on, we're going to bring on the founder, David Rosen, and we're going to continue on, guys, for a while. So we wanted to get this training information to you, but John, can you just go ahead and recap how this program has been working and what's going on here? Because you do it the best that I can even fathom anybody doing it.
Sure, I can. Can you hear me okay?
We got you, John.
All right. Well, welcome, everybody. What a wild Saturday, knocking on the door of 500 people on this Zoom call. I want you to know, first and foremost, I had a little side bet with Francis and Michael before the call. Hey, guys, you owe me a beer. I was right with how many would be on. I was the closest, actually. So Molson Canadian, please. Anyway, we knew this was going to be big from day one. This is what everybody wants. Look at the numbers on this call. It's evidenced. I mean, it's day 33 for us. We are exploding around the globe. We probably got 50, 60 different countries represented on this Zoom call. So when we saw this, we immediately started doing the 2 activities that lead to success. And those are exposing this to people and sorting them out. And that's all we do. We just expose and we sort. We never explain it ourselves. We don't sell anyone. We don't convince anyone. We don't chase anyone around. We just simply expose and sort. And it's important to understand there's only 2 things that you can control when you are exposing and sorting people. How good of a message you give them and how many people you expose. The rest is completely up to them. It all comes down to timing in their life. Are they open? Are they not open? All we can control are those 2 things, expose and sort. Now, as far as exposing, we have an awesome power tool to do that. That's our 8-minute video. That's what we always lead with. We just simply give people a compelling reason to watch that video. I might phone someone up and say something like, hey, I found something that's working very well for a lot of people. They're receiving a lot of money. I want you to watch this 8-minute video. If I send it to you, will you watch it? Okay, I fire off the video. From there, I follow up, find out if they got it, if they understood what it was. We answer a few questions. We might jump on a 3-way call. We might put them on one of our live Zoom calls. And at that point, we get them started. From there, it's real simple. We help them get signed up. We help them make their first couple donations. They want to do that right away. We help them then get their payment methods set up. And we immediately engage them from there to start exposing and sorting with their contacts. And that's all we do, those simple little things over and over again. And that's how you build a big business very quickly here. You keep it simple, you take focused action with these simple activities, you're going to get the results that you're looking for. Now, one other thing I wanted to cover, sometimes people get misconceptions on the 2x2 matrix. They don't understand how huge this is and how beneficial it is to build a massive team going way deep into your team, working with those people. You know, we focus on the people that are making donations to us, which is great, but I want you to understand the impact of everything that's happening so deep in your team and what it's going to mean to your future. And to do that, I want to give you a little visual here. I always tell this story. Picture this big old fat anaconda snake slithering through the jungles in Brazil. He's hungry. He's coming along. All of a sudden, he catches a pig that's napping under a tree. He slides over there, he grabs that pig, and he swallows him. Well, if you look at that anaconda, you can see this massive bulge in that snake. You can see it. It's very, very visual, this big bulge, and there's only one place for that bulge to go. It has to move through that anaconda. You can see it moving along. The exact same thing happens here. Picture your people down on your 10th, your 15th, your 20th level, and there's lots of them because there's more and more people on every level. They're going crazy down there. Everybody's going crazy with this. And picture that massive bulge of volume that's being created down there. Well, it's in a confined place, just like that pig in the anaconda. It has no choice but to move its way up the ladder, because on level 15, it's going to create a bunch of cycles and re-entries, which triggers the same thing to happen to level 14. And as that volume keeps moving up, it has nowhere else to go. It does it for level 13, and then it moves up to level 12 and level 10 and all the way up the ladder. And all of a sudden it hits your donation centers with everybody cycling and re-entering like crazy. And now things go absolutely ballistic. So you've got to understand that takes a while for that depth in your team, for that volume to move up. But once it moves up, it has nowhere else to go. It's an endless big clump of volume that just keeps coming up and creating all those cycles. So I work, obviously I'm out there personally sponsoring as many people as I can. I'm working with my people, but I work with everybody on the team because I know it fuels that big lump of volume that is moving up the ladder. And when it hits, you know, it's absolute pandemonium from there. So I hope that helps everyone, Michael, understand, you know, it may be a 2x2, but the benefits of working deep in your team and creating that explosion, because when that big lump of volume hits, it's out of control. Back to you, Michael.
Well, John, thank you so much for that. And, you know, if you can't get excited from that, you want to check your pulse, folks, because John Van Derzen, you know, he comes on to the overview that I'm honored to host 7 days a week at 3 p.m. And he paints such a perfect picture. And folks, I so appreciate that, John, because understanding the nature of this model at a higher level helps us all take this and share it better. So I want to thank you so much, John. And, you know, I've come to know that Bill Davey has, you know, a relationship with our developer, Mr. David Rosen. So, you know, I texted him here and I asked him if it was all the same with him. I think it would mean a lot to him to bring the developer, David Rosen, onto the call. I've come to know Bill Davey a little bit better here over the last few weeks. And folks, he's been nothing short of a spectacular support. So Bill, I'm going to allow you to bring on the developer and the very visionary for 50/50 crowdfunding. So Bill, are you there?
I'm here, Michael. You got me?
Yes, I do.
All right. Well, again, thank you for doing all that you do. And guys, just to let you know, this is a group effort. Nobody's here to, you know, kind of steal the spotlight. It's just that we knew that this program needed a system in place to help other people share this opportunity with other people. So I'm not a technology guy. Kenny's not a technology guy. Francis is, but we reached down into our teams, and some people have volunteered to, you know, do these Zooms, host these things, just so we have a consistent message. So I thank everybody that's doing that. And I also want to thank David Rosen for being as accessible as he has been. hopefully you got unmuted, David. And I just want to turn this over to you. You see, we have close to 500 people on. You've been phenomenal helping me. I got involved when there were about 400 people involved. And, I'm just here to help serve as many people as we can and help change lives just like you're doing. So I'm going to turn this over to you, David. And I know we have some of the co-hosts that are unmuted, and we're just going to fire some questions at you after you get done addressing the people that are on.
Awesome, and thank you very much, Bill. Can you guys hear me all right?
Loud and clear.
All right, awesome. And my gosh, what's going on here? Hey, Francis, you did an awesome job. You remember on our first conversation, I told you that you and I were going to be friends for a long time. This solidified it because you really did an awesome job in explaining to people, the awesomeness about 50-50. And Kenny and John, thank you very much. And Bill, once again, of course, thank you for that. And by the way, John, your description of the anaconda, well, that was pretty good. I haven't heard that before, and I thought that was pretty awesome. You really had people, what the heck is he? Yeah, okay, I'm getting it. Yeah. You really had people chiming in and paying attention because they definitely wanted to hear what you were going to say next. So it was really cool. And, this is not even a corporate call. This is really a team call, right? Like this is your team call, and you've already maxed out at 500 people. And it was funny. I was speaking to, I think it was William earlier today, Bill earlier today. And I said, you're going to max out today. He said, no, we're not going to max out. He said, we might have 250. I said, no, I think you're going to max out. You guys have been doing such an awesome job. And you get a sense of what's going to happen. He said, no, we're going to have 250. I said, you're going to max. Well, as you can see, you guys maxed out. So once again, kudos to you guys. And the reason why you've maxed out is because you're doing exactly what you need to do as leaders. And people follow the leaders. If you have good leadership, then you're going to have a good following. If you have a good system or a great system, then it makes your task that much easier. And as everybody already knows, 50-50 is an awesome system. It's helping people all around the world. And I couldn't be happier about what's going on. As most of you already know, well, the leadership already knows, that the first system that I put together, we've got close to 1 million people, did close to $1 billion around the world. The enhancement that we did to 50-50 is so huge. I didn't realize that it was going to be so huge, but it's so huge. I believe we'll probably have 1 million people in 50-50 by the end of spring. That's how fast and how rapidly this is growing. And really what we've created here is a juggernaut. And when you create a juggernaut, and for those who may not know what a juggernaut is, but a juggernaut is an unstoppable force. And really, that's what we've got going on here in 50-50. Now, having said all of that, it's really amazing to listen to the chatter that's going on in the internet and hear things that are going on back and forth. People always want to see you fail. And you got a lot of haters out there. It only took a week before people started putting stuff up that, that says it doesn't work. It's this, it's that, and all that other stuff. So I've seen things happen fast, but that happened really fast. So that's another example of how great this system is and how great a job that you guys are doing. And when you have a system, it doesn't matter whether you're Microsoft or whether you are Apple or whether you're Google, when you launch something new, no matter how much testing that you do, something's going to break, right? Like, I mean, who's bought a new Microsoft product? And when you buy that Microsoft product with their hundreds of thousands of workers and billions and billions and billions of dollars, something breaks. Or you get a new iPhone, you download the new app, and, they do all kinds of testing, but something breaks. We haven't had anything break yet, but people, when our merchant services went down, again, going back to all that chatter that we hear online, oh no, they're done, right? So when the merchant services went down, people thought, oh no, it's over. Well, like I said, we've been doing this for 16 years, so that was just a little bump in the road. I knew that the merchant services were going down. They told us that it was going to go down on Monday, which is still 2 days from now, and it ended up going down on Wednesday. So they sort of caught us with our pants down, but we have replacement merchant services. They will be up as soon as possible. So within the next day, 2 days, 3 days, we'll have the new merchant services up, so people will be able to start using credit cards again. And we're putting in, because of how great the team is doing, it's forced me to sort of take some of my time away from the other thing that I was doing to focus more attention on 50-50, because, you know, for me, everything that we do is all about creating something that people want to use and share and benefit from. And when you create something that people want to use and share, they're going to use and share it. And that's what they're doing with 50-50. So that means I need to dedicate more of my time right now, because for those of you that don't know, 50-50 was sitting on the shelf. It's been there, sitting there for almost a year, just, you know, collecting dust. And somebody came to me on October 4th and said, David, listen, I created a system. It's not really working exactly the way we wanted it to. Is there something that you can give me so that I can help my teammates? So I said, yeah, I got this. And it's sort of just sitting there. And, you know, all of a sudden the phone went dead. I didn't hear anything for a few moments. And and I didn't hear anything because it was stunned that the system was sitting there. I said, how come millions of people aren't using this already? I said, well, it just needs the right people that are promoting it. And right now we have that right group of people. And by the way, the team that you're seeing on this call, this is just one of many teams that we have that are already happening around the world. So if you're sitting back and you're thinking, okay, I can wait, I'll get to this tomorrow, I'll get to this the next day, you know, you don't want to do that. And I was talking to a young lady who's been a friend of mine for a long period of time. You know, she's a very good marketer, and she's online, and she's, you know, she says, well, David, you know what, I've been doing really good, but it seems like about every 4 minutes, somebody's hitting me up and telling me to get into 50-50. So I decided to give you a call and find out what's going on. And I already put her in. I put her in last year, right? So she says, I got to take a look at this. And she's used to doing things the old-fashioned way. And when I say the old-fashioned way, you know, we've all done some type of network marketing, some type of home-based business. And, you know, the thing that you usually have to do is you got to plan, you got to strategize, you got to put all of your tools together, you got to put your list together, you got to figure out who's going to join you, who's not going to join you, maybes, maybe not, possibly, you know, you put all your list together and stuff like that. I said, while you're doing that, you're going to lose 50 teammates. I said, just get busy with it. Just start promoting, just start talking to people. And I'm going to say this once again, because this may be it is one of the most important things that I'm going to say and that you're going to hear on this call. Again, going back to the fact that we've all done things in the past, and most things that we tried in the past didn't work. So I haven't, fortunately, knock on wood, I haven't put people into a system that hasn't worked, but a lot of us have. And, you know, people always say, okay, well, I got to get leads, right? I got to go buy leads. I got to do this. I got to set up, you know, this. No, listen, for all of the people that you put into something in the past that it didn't work, that you feel that you can't go back to, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your dog, your cat, your best friend, the person that's on the other side of the water, everybody that you know, that you care about, that you love, that you want to see do well, those are the people that you need to go to first. And you don't go to them and say, hey, listen, I joined this new awesome crowdfunding system. It does this, does that, does this, blah, 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 blah. No, you want to keep it very, very simple. Send them to the video. Tell them to watch the video. And if they need anything else, have them read the FAQs. And let them know that we only do 3 things here at 50-50. We give, we share, and we receive. And if they have a willingness to give, if they have a willingness to share, they will receive. That's what happens in 50-50. If they don't want to do that, then they're not going to succeed. So it's uncomplicated, it's beautiful, it's helping people all around the world, and we've got exactly what you have been looking for a long, long period of time. It's 50-50. You got a great leadership team that's across there. You've got a great system. Go to the people that you care about. Have the most awesome Christmas that you're ever going to have. Have the most awesome 2019 that you're going to have. Have the most awesome 2020 that you're going to have, because I can tell you, First System's been going on for 16 years, since 2002. This system will outlast us all. When we are dust, and our children are living off all the money that we've given to them in their inheritance, you know, this system will still be here providing benefits to our family. So take a very good look at it, watch the video, look at the site, read the FAQs, understand it. If you think that you can do what it says, which I believe you will find that you can, then do it. But don't just jump into it because your friend said to do it. Because this is very easy. It's easy and it works for everybody, but you got to know what you're doing, and you have to have a willingness to be a team player. I'm going to see if there was anything else that I wanted to go over here. I wrote a couple of things down. As you know, I'm always talking from the heart. I tell it like it is, right? So sometimes I write notes, sometimes I don't. This time I wrote 1 or 2 notes, but it doesn't seem like I've needed them. Two other things that I want to go over, and we're going to bring another guest on the show, because as I said, I don't stop working. I'm here to serve. I'm here for the people. I'm here for you. God put me on this planet for several purposes. But when it comes to my role in business, it is, and I've known this since I was 2 years old. I'll tell you that story another time. But it is to help you financially. Come up with systems to help you financially. So this is a system that can do that. We have another crypto option that we've put in place because, as most of you already know, cryptocurrency is here to stay. It's huge. It's going through its changes and its modifications and stuff like that. Most new ideas, such as crowdfunding, most new ideas take anywhere from 10 to 15 years before they take hold. Cryptocurrency has been around probably 5 or 6, 7 years, 8 years, I'm not sure. It's getting ready to explode. When governments start to adopt it, when billionaires start to adopt it, when big business starts to adopt it, you know 100% that it is here to stay. So cryptocurrency is here to stay. It's the exact same thing with crowdfunding. In crowdfunding, governments are now using crowdfunding to fund ideas, to take care of natural disasters. They are going to us and they're using crowdfunding. Businesses all around the world have been using crowdfunding for years. Every artist, every movie producer, everybody who comes out with their own song is using crowdfunding to get funds for their system. 50% of all crowdfunding done worldwide is used for personal uses. That's for like you and I. So if you needed to pay your bills, you wanted to get yourself out of debt, you can use crowdfunding for absolutely anything. So it is here to stay. And I can tell you, we are going to keep working to make everything easier and easier and easier for you to enter the system. So as I said, we've got a new crypto options on the site already. So next time a person goes to register, they're going to find another option. Right now we've got tokens, as you heard Francis talk about. Thank you very much for sharing my PayPal account. Wasn't expecting that. So we've got the tokens that are working beautifully right now in place of the credit cards. People are getting the tokens. It's working awesome. It's so easy. They're working beautifully. We've got Bitcoin that's already on the site. And now today we've just put on something else, and I'm going to bring Frank on in just a minute to really help to explain it, because as I say, we're going to keep doing and doing and doing and doing to make sure that this is the best, most fun, and most rewarding system that you've ever done in your entire life. So I'm going to bring Frank on in just a second because he's going to explain some of the crypto options that we're putting in place. Frank, are you with us right now?
I'm unmuting his line, David,
Awesome.
as we speak.
Awesome. Make sure you unmute his the video as well, because he's an excitable guy. You want to hear him, you want to hear and see him talk.
Okay.
David, could you answer 2 questions quick just before we switch over?
Sure. Go ahead.
Just one, let people know what will happen if you know that we can control people that are not paying. That you can definitely suspend them, and they can be suspended. And basically we can report that in, and it can happen. And,
yeah, let me address that before you get to the next option. And I was going to bring it up, but I
okay,
had
great.
to probably ask. All right, so folks, listen up. This system is based on honor. It's based on you. It's policed by you. It's based on honor. It's peer-to-peer. So far, over 97% of all donations that have come in go back out. The people send them. They get clicked off by the people that are receiving them. If you decide that you want to enter this system and you think that you can game the system, you think that you can get away with something, you cannot. You do not want to get suspended from 50-50 because this is exactly what you've been looking for all of your life. This is a system that's going to help you. So if you plan on getting into the system, don't bite off more than you can chew. If you have $250 to make that initial donation to 2 people, make it. But if you click on the 250 and the 500 and the 1,000 or whatever you click on, but you don't have enough to send those donations, you will get suspended. And if you get suspended, you will not get back in, unless, of course, you sent your donations. When you send your donations, you will be allowed to get back in. And the whole system's all automated. And those of you that think that, okay, well, I'm going to get in right now because I got 24 hours, or I got 48 hours, or I got 72, you don't. When you register, it says be prepared to immediately send your donations. What does immediately mean, Bill?
Immediately.
Right now, right?
That's right.
So be prepared to immediately send your donations because you can be suspended anywhere from 1 minute to 5 hours or to 5 days if you haven't sent off your donation. So be prepared to immediately send off those donations. If you have a problem, talk to the person that you're supposed to receive because the system goes in and it takes a look around. Not me. The system goes in, it takes a look around. It says, look at this person here. They claimed that they wanted to get into 50-50. It's been 36 hours. They haven't sent the donations yet. The system may just automatically suspend you, right? So you need to make sure that your donations, you're prepared to send your donations immediately. If you have a problem, send something through to support so that they can help you. When you register, it's a 3-step process. It says, I'm going to pay the $29. I'm coming in at $250 and $500. Then it takes you to another page and it says, is this the person you're registering with? Do you agree to pay the $29? Are you coming in at the $250? Are you coming at the $500? You got to check those things off. So you can't make a mistake. So if you think that you can say, oh, it was a mistake, I'll get to you later, you will get suspended. So don't let that happen to you because you don't want to miss out on this. Some people have been playing around with the buttons in the back office. You know, what does this thing say? Terminate. Oh, let me see. Let me push that. They push it. Oh, look at that. It says if I push it again, I'm going to get terminated. You'll get terminated. So don't push the button. You know, because a couple of people, they've been playing around with some of the buttons back there. It says it in big and red, right? So make sure that you're in honor of the activity all the time because we are going to be doing it for a long period of time. This is going to provide for your family for a long period of time. Now that you brought that up, I got to bring up one other thing. Kevin Harrington is an awesome guy. He's a friend of mine. We talk on a regular basis. One of the best entrepreneurs that you will ever meet. He endorsed my other project. He has not endorsed 50-50. Some people went on to my YouTube channel. They grabbed a couple of videos out there. They started stringing them together, and they thought that they could use them. Those are copyrighted stuff. Kevin, as nice of a guy as he is, he will cause grief for you if you don't take that video down, right? Because it's his video and it's my video. So if you're using the Kevin Harrington video or even some of my videos that you haven't got authorization to, take them down because you will get suspended. And many people have already got suspended for using that Kevin Harrington video. And that's because I've got a huge amount of respect for Kevin. Like I said, he's a friend of mine. He may even endorse 50-50 at some point in time. But I'm not going to go to Kevin and say, hey, listen, I'd like you to participate and endorse 50-50 when we're using his video and we don't have permission to yet. So we need to get that down. So get it down immediately. You can ask some of your teammates if people are getting suspended for that. And when you get suspended for that, you are suspended. You are out. You're done. You're toast. So take it down, because we want this to work for everybody, but we also can't tolerate stuff that can cause grief for other people, whether it's a mega star like Kevin Harrington or whether it's a great person like Rebecca. You know, we're here to help and support all of our teammates, regardless of your status, regardless of your stature. So do everything in honor of the activity.
Last thing, and then I know Frank's waiting, but just quickly address why you don't want to take more than one position, and I'm done with questions from the field.
Yeah, listen, folks, you know, think about it. I created the system, so every time you give me $29, it's good for me. But the system was created for you. Remember, I said I created the system for you. It was and is created for you. If you take and listen, this is a system that has been designed over 16 years. But I've also been creating systems since 1987 when I first discovered network marketing. I said I'm going to create stuff that works for you, right? So I didn't create something so that you can take 5, 6, 2, 3, 4 positions. You need one position, because everything cycles back in under you. That's the super technology. That's the Mobius loop. If you take more than one position, you're hurting yourself, you're costing yourself more money, and you're going to have teammates that are going to get frustrated and leave. And they'll go work with another team that's doing things in an honorable way. You only need one position. Now, here's one other thing that I want to say that's part of that. We all have a desire, a need, a want to help other people, whether it's your mom, whether it's your church, whether it's your community. We all want to help other people. If you do want to help other people, don't put them into the system and then say, I'm going to give them to people, because what that does is that puts your strong team with a very weak person and they aren't gelling with the team. So don't put people in under people. Don't get people away. If somebody says that they aren't willing to be a team player in 50-50 and you want to help them, you're receiving donations. Those are your donations. You have the God-given right to give some to the people that you care about. Give more to your church. Give more to your family. Give more to your friends. But don't put them into the system, because it's only hurting you and it's hurting your team. So I hope that covers that.